this is Experience English from BBC Learn English. I'm Sam. And I'm Neil. It's raining again, Sam. I've had enough. It's been drizzling. Raining lately all week. I know what you mean, Neil. Living in a country like Britain, I sometimes wish we could have a magic button and stop it raining. And ironically, people living in hot, dry country need rain but don't get it. If only we could control the weather. It's funny you should say that because you're not the first person to have that idea. In this program, we'll be hearing cloud seeding and geoengineering, two controversial methods scientists are using to manipulate or change the weather. And as usual, we'll be learning some new vocabulary as well. Anything that stops it drizzling sounds good to me, Sam. I hate to disappoint you, Neil, but this idea involves making more, not less rain. Well, we'll learn the details soon, but first I have a quiz question about the wettest place in the world. A village where it gets 12 meters of rain a year. But where is it? Is it in A. Ireland, B. New Zealand, or C. India? Well, I think it rains a lot in Ireland, isn't it? So I'll say it's Ireland. Okay, so we'll review the answer at the end of the program. The first type of weather manipulation we'll hear about is how to get snow from or rain, called cloud seeding. Airplanes fly through the ground and spray chemicals to make water particles and freeze and stick together as snowflakes. These then form as snows which build up during the winter before melting in spring to help water crops. Simon Kosia, as in BBC Covid inquiry, speaks of Professor Katja Friedrich, and that's research scientist at the University of Colorado. The first cloud seeding experiment took place in the 1940s. In the years since, scientists have been accused of meddling with nature. People are thinking some substance in the atmosphere that should not be there. They say that every time you get a car, they get an airplane, get substances in there, and that don't belong. So you're also playing God. The cause of this cloud seeding is more and more popular, with 50 countries using the method to extract rain from clouds. Some critics accuse scientists as meddling with nature, trying to change something which is not their responsibility. In other words, they're accused of playing God, acting as if they are unlimited and could do whatever they want. And unlike cloud seeding, the next type of weather modification has never been tested. It's still just a theory. Solar geoengineering aims to reduce global warming by reflecting sunlight away from the Earth back into space. This involves putting tiny particles called aerosols into the stratosphere, the band of sky 20 kilometers above the surface, about twice as high as the atmosphere. It's never been tested. The method is controversial, as Simon Kosia discussed with Harvard University professor of engineering, David Keith for BBC World Service, The Inquiry. How controversial this is. There's more controversy, and for good reason. People are sensibly scared that this can provide an excuse that allows countries or companies to avoid doing the work that has to be done with. In fact, controversy actually should be waxed and waned over time. In the early work of climate change in the 1970s, the audience was just part of the way we talked about what might happen about climate change, and as climate change became more politically sensitive, that was really a taboo. David Keith believed that geoengineering can provide an excuse for inaction for climate change, a reason for a country to explain why they did not take action. Controversy over this has waxed and waned, and even connected to the cycle of the moon, which describes something that increases and then decreases over time. In the 1960s, for geoengineering was uncontroversial, but in the 90s it had become taboo, a subject that is avoided for social or religious issues. These ideas to change the weather have potential benefits. Other suggestions, for example, to position a giant floating mirror between the Earth and the Sun, are highly controversial. But personally, I think a giant floating umbrella above Britain would be good. Well, just think, there are even rainy places to live. As I asked in my question earlier, in which country is the world rainiest village? I guess it was in Ireland, which was the wrong answer, I'm afraid. In fact, more than Rams, the world wettest village is in Khasi Hills of northeastern India, with 12 meters of rain a year. It's not somewhere you'll be visiting, Neil. So let's recap the vocabulary we've learned, starting with drizzling, which means raining lightly. If you're meddling, you're trying to change something which is not your responsibility, or without being asked to. Someone who is playing God is acting as if they're controlling everything and can do whatever they want. An excuse is a reason to give and explain, to give what is something wrong. If something waxes and wanes, it goes stronger and weaker over time. And finally, a taboo is a subject that is avoided for social or religious reasons. Once again, our 6 minutes are up. Bye for now. Bye.